Hello and welcome back to part 2 of how to code a 2-player soccer game using Tynker. In part 1, we covered how to code the stage, as well as the red and blue goal. In this part, we're going to learn how to code the soccer ball, the red team, and the blue team. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So first, you're going to want to select Add Actor, and click the Drawing tool. Select this tool. There's an option to change it to a circle, and then you can use any color you want, but I'm just going to use white because it's the closest to a soccer ball, and then just create a ball. Now you can add more detail to this if you like, but just for time's sake, I'm going to leave it as a white circle. Sometimes it actually doesn't save, so I'm just going to make it again. And I find that you have to click the save button until this orange saving part pops up, and then you should be good. There we go. Alright. Now, I'm actually going to use a soccer ball that I already drew. So I have in my backpack, so I'll just drag it out. And we'll delete this one. Alright, so here's my soccer ball. It's already coded, but I'm just going to delete all this so I can restart and explain it to you. So the first block that you're going to want to drag out is the when false occurs block. We're going to also grab a sensing block, the touching mouse pointer question mark block, and then we're going to change mouse pointer to red goal. This is going to make sure that when the soccer ball hits the red goal, it's going to make sure that the blue team is awarded their point. So this kind of makes sure that it happens with these two broadcast blocks. So we're going to change this one to goal, and this one to blue goal. So this whole block makes sure that the blue team is awarded the point, and when we code in part 3, we're going to code a little, I guess, announcement that's going to pop up. So this is going to make sure that the blue goal will pop up. Alright, so we're going to do the same for the red team. Go back to when false occurs, and then we're just going to grab 2 broadcast blocks right now so that we don't have to go back down to sensing, and grab that same touching mouse pointer question mark block. And we are going to this time select blue goal, change this to goal, and this one to red goal. If the ball hits the goal, it's just going to tell the rest of the code that for example, the red team scored, so it's going to make sure that the red team gets awarded the point. This code right here does not in any way announce that the blue or red team has scored. So I'm sorry that I kind of messed up on that explanation. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is go over to events and grab the when I receive blank block. We're going to change that blank to goal. Then click the motion tab and grab the go to X 0Y0 block. This is going to make sure that after one team scores, the soccer ball actor will go right back to the middle of the stage, which is 0, 0. So after that, we're going to scroll into physics and grab the set static block. We're going to grab 2 of those, and then we're going to keep the first one, we're going to change the first one to true and keep the second one as false. Next, we're going to go to these control blocks up here, scroll all the way down and grab this stop all block. Change all to other scripts and actors. So what this whole block of code is going to do is it's going to ensure that after one team scores, the soccer ball goes right to the center. These physics blocks are going to make sure that it won't move, just randomly start moving. And then this stop other scripts and actors, after we're done coding the blue and red team, this is just going to make sure that their movement and I guess their movement stops, and then also it makes sure that they go back to their spots, which we will code in later. Alright, so next grab another on start block and then scroll back down to physics. Let's grab a set static block, a set active block, and then scroll down and find the set friction to 0.5 block and the set restitution to 0.2 block, as well as the set shape block. So we're going to change the active to true, as we want the ball to be able to move. We're going to set friction to 1, so the ball can move around slowly, and then set restitution to 0.5. Also, make sure to set the shape to circular. Alright, so that is all the code for the soccer ball. So we're going to click Add Actor again, click Drawing Tool, and this time we're going to start coding the actual players. So same circle tool, and let's select blue this time. Make a blue circle, and then click Save. And then make sure that you get that orange saving, and you can click back. Ooh. My bad, you should also change the name to, we'll do blue player 1. Alright. So it should show up. And just for right now, we're going to move it right here. You don't have to do that, but I'm just going to move it there for now. Alright, so we're going to grab the when actor click block. This is because when you click the actor, you want to activate all this code. Next, click the control tab, and then grab the if false then. And we're going to grab another one of these green operator blocks to equal. We're going to scroll over to variables. We're going to grab our turn variable and put it in this first slot, and then set that to 1. This is the blue team, so the blue players go on turn 1 and 2, while the red go on 3 and 4. So make sure that this is set to 1. Next, we're going to scroll down in this variables tab and grab the set to 0 block. We're going to change this to which person, and we're going to change this to a, and then we're going to scroll down to sensing and find the my actor name block. So this piece of code is going to correspond to another part that we will be doing later in part 3, because it's a little bit more advanced. But basically, when we click the block and drag the mouse pointer, we want this little, I guess, power gauge to show up. So that's what this block is gonna do, but we don't have to worry about that for now. So go back up to event, grab another broadcast block. We're going to type in go dot. This again has to do with the power gauge kind of little effect that we're going to be putting on, so you don't really have to worry about that yet. Alright, so next you're going to want to grab a wait until false block. So I, for some reason, always have trouble finding this, so just, if you have trouble finding a block, go up here and search up the name, so it'll be wait until, here it is, put it there, and then we're going to go back over to operators, scroll down until we find these, I guess, long hexagons, and then you're going to want to look for the not false block. There it is. And then scroll down to sensing and look for the mouse down right here. Alright, So this is going to make sure that after you release your mouse, the ball will travel in that direction. Alright, so next, go back to variables, grab this set blank to 0 block, and then we're going to select the turn and put turn 2. So the blue's turn lasts for both turn 1 and 2, while the red lasts for 3 and 4. So next, click the motion tab, and then find the point towards mouse pointer block, and put that right under there. We also want to scroll down to physics and select a start physics block. As well as an apply impulse block, which should be down here. Here it is. Now we're going to go back up to the operators and find this block right here. It's under basic operators, and we're going to drag that in here. Go back to sensing and select this distance to mouse pointer block and put it over 5. And then we're going to change mouse pointer to pink dot, which will be the name of the power gauge that we will create later in part 3. So what this is going to do is after you click on your actor, physics will start as well as impulse. This impulse block right here is going to make sure that the ball can actually move around, so it's going to help with that. And then let's go back up to control, grab the wait block, let's put 5 seconds, and then go back down to physics and find the stop physics block. So after you hit the ball with the actor, you're going to want gravity to be moving around for, we put 5 seconds, and then we want physics to stop so that all of your players aren't just moving around endlessly. Next, go back to the variables tab and grab this change blank by 1 block, as well as the set blank to 0 block. In this change blank to 1, we're going to click turns left, and we're going to change that by -1. Find turn, and change that to 3. So this change turns left by -1 block is going to make sure that after you are done with your turn, the turns left counter goes down by 1. So for example, if it's at 20, and then the blue team hits the soccer ball, it's going to go back down to 19. After that is over, the set turn block, make sure that it goes to the red team's turn. To finish off the player, we're going to scroll up to event blocks, grab another on start block, as well as a when I receive blank block, so you don't have to scroll back. Scroll down to physics, grab one set static and one set active block. We're going to set active to true. This makes the actor move. And then also, just like the soccer ball, we're going to find the set friction and set restitution blocks, which are going to make sure that the player as well as the ball can just glide across the screen naturally. Set friction to 0.1 and set restitution to 0.4. Next, go to the motion tab and find the go to X0, Y0 block. Just like the ball, after the turn is over, we would like the player to return to a certain spot. So you can have your player return anywhere you like, but just for this one, we're going to put -160 and 0, and then I will explain why I picked those coordinates a little bit later. scroll back down to physics and grab set static and set active. Oh wait, sorry. Grab 2 set static blocks. My mistake. This is because after the turn is over, we want to make sure that the blue player stays in the position that you keep it in. Finally, scroll up to the control block and then grab this stop all, which we also used in the soccer ball. And then just like the soccer ball, switch to other scripts and actors. This as well is just going to make sure that all of the actors stop moving and go back to the spot that we assigned them to. So for the blue team at least, the code for each one of these are going to be, oh, I am so sorry. This when I receive block, set that to goal. Alright, so for the blue team at least, we're going to, it's basically all going to be the same. So what we're going to do is open our backpack and then click and drag the blue player 1 into your backpack so it can be reused. So to copy and paste it, grab the blue dot from your backpack and just release in this section. We're going to do that 2 more times. I'm choosing to do 3 players. You could always do more or less if you like. And then we're just going to change the names to blue player 2 and blue player 3. So the only thing that we're going to need to change in these new players that we coded is their position that they start in. So let's start with this one by dragging over here. I'm going to make kind of a triangle formation. So the way to do this is place your cursor right over it. So this one will be blue player 2. So as you can see, there are little coordinates that show up right here. So have your cursor over it, and then we're going to enter that coordinate into the go to X block. So as you can see, the first value will be the X and the second is the Y. So we're going to round up to the nearest whole number, so this one will be negative 380 and 150. So put negative 380 and 150. That's blue player 2. Oh, and then also for blue player 1, as you can see, they are at around negative 160, 0. So that's why I put that in there. Blue player 3, we want them at negative 380, negative 150. So put the negative 380 right in the X value spot, and then negative 170 in the Y value spot. Alright, so that is it for the blue player. Now we have to code the red player. So just like the blue player, click Add Actor, Drawing Tool, select red this time, and then create a red ball. Change the name to red player 1. Click save until this orange saving screen pops up. Saving button, I guess. So the red player is actually extremely similar to the blue player. So what we're going to do, we'll just pick blue player 3. We're going to grab this whole block of code and then just make sure that this little red actor 1 little block turns white, and then just drag and drop. As you can see, the code stays in the blue player actor, but it also gets copied into the red player 1. So the code for this one is very similar. So let's also copy these 2 little blocks right here. I'm sorry. When you want to grab the whole thing, make sure that you grab kind of the white text on the top block. Alright, so we have to change a few things. So for example, the turn, since the red team only goes on 3 and 4, let's change this one to 3. And then we will have this one as 4, because the red team goes on 3 and 4. And then let's do set turn to 1, because we would like the blue team to go next. And that's it for the red team. So just like the blue team, open your backpack, and then drag the red player 1 up here, and then copy down 2 more. And then this of course is optional, but change the name to red player 2 and 3. Alright. And then just like the blue one, we would like to set them to their correct position. So I'm going to put them in a triangle formation. Alright. So red player 1 is right here. We want him in position negative, looks like around 380 and negative 160. So we'll change this one to negative 380. Oh, I'm sorry, 380. And then it looks like the Y value can stay the same. Red player 2, which is up here, we'll set it to 360 by 150. Then finally red player 3 will be at 160 and then 0 for the Y value. I also probably should have mentioned this earlier, but your players might not be in the same position as mine. So to find the coordinate, just put your cursor over and then enter that coordinate. Alright, so that's it for this part. Congratulations, you've coded your soccer ball and both teams, and you're one step closer to finishing this game. Good job everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all in part 3, where we are going to code the scoreboard, the pink dot / power gauge, and the effect that shows up after you win. Thank you for watching, and can't wait to see you in the next video.